I started playing floorball when I was, I think, 7 years old. I played first times in this after school, a couple times a week. We had this kind of hobby trying out new sport kind of thing in Finland. I used to play ice hockey as my main sport until I was 21 years old, and floorball was kind of my side sport there, once a week, twice a week. And I think it was in Riga, the World Championship, first time when we had this Swedish coach Alex Bonen that mentioned that, oh, you're quite skillful in floorball. Why don't you think about changing to floorball from ice hockey all the time? And that was the first time I was starting to think about it. And then after the season in ice hockey, I didn't get a pro contract in ice hockey side, and I was 21 year old. My junior years, so said in floorball was no, ice hockey was over. So I had to think either go semi-professional to ice hockey or then semi-professional to floorball side, and that's the first time I really thought about the idea. And yeah, that's the next summer I changed to floorball and had a tryout contract with Nokia and KRP. I had been playing with their junior side once a week, some games, couple games during the last past season. But long story short, that's when I changed to floorball full time, and I haven't regret this decision. And I've now been playing 5 6 years only floorball, and that's has been awesome. Couple of years in Switzerland, 3 years in Finland, and I've enjoyed all the time playing. And what made me fall in love with floorball, I think, already from my junior years was the skillful side of floorball. Mm. In ice hockey, it's more hitting, more stick lifting, more hitting with the stick. So I think in floorball you have many more options to dig around with the ball, and you have every situation comes so fast, fast you don't have even you have basically 1 second to think what to do next, and that's what I love about the sport. Of course, for myself, I love scoring goals, but that's both in ice hockey and floorball. But I think the technical part in floorball made me fall in love with this sport. An obstacle in my life has been, I would say, biggest has been when I was diagnosed with cancer when I was 6 years old. So basically, the next year I had to live in the hospital, two months in hospital, a couple of weeks at home, fighting for my life. So that's the biggest obstacle, and I don't have from sports side anything that can be even close to that obstacle. So I would say that for sure. But it has taught me some valuable lessons about life that you have to enjoy each day. Each day you can be healthy. Each practice, each game, you never know what's coming next from the next corner. So I would say that's the most valuable lesson also in my life. So that's easily the biggest obstacle in my life. Uh, some people that have meant a lot for my floorball development have been, I would say, my dad is the biggest influence in my both my ice hockey side and floorball side. He used to play ice hockey in the NHL level and in the Finnish highest league for a long time, and he has been my quite personal coach since I have been a little boy. I think I was 15-year old when I didn't make the highest team in the ice hockey side. So that's the first time he said, You can choose. He don't want to pressure me to do anything. You can choose. He can help me to develop my game, my practice in everything if I want to. If not, you can do whatever you want. And that's the first time we started to do my physical programs, everything for myself. I used to practice before I went to school on my own to catch up the kids. And long story short, there also I made it to the highest league in under 21s and with the national championship in ice hockey in the highest league. So he has also been helping me in the floorball side. So we always after the games we call each other, even though he doesn't understand that much about the floorball side. So, but it's a good 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 thing for my mental side, my everything. He's always backing me up if I had a hard time. Just remembering me about my skills, everything, so I can always look back and enjoy what I do. My largest highlights in floorball life has been winning 2 times bronze medal with the Nokian KRP. First one in my first season playing playing floorball, so that was a huge thing for me, changing from ice hockey to floorball straight away, winning the bronze medal in the highest league, in the men's league in Finland. And then I would say one thing that I also value really high is when I played in Switzerland a couple of years. It gave me good life lessons, and gave me sight what other thing floorball can give me just in the playing side. So those are my biggest things that I have got from the floorball side. So an average week for me during the season is, I would say, we have two morning practices with the team, and 3 to 4 times evening practices. Every practice involves some floorball in them, and then physical part, of course, in every practice. So I would say, if I count, I have around 5-6 floorball practices, and then plus 5-6 physical practice. So around 10 practices a week plus games. Of course, depends if we have many games during the week. Then we take a little bit less physical and floorball side, just to so we don't overburn us. But I would say that's my most most basic week during the season is 5 to 6 floorball practice and 5 to 6 physical practice. So that's about it. So when I don't play floorball, I like watching other sports like ice hockey, golf. I do golfing myself, and of course playing some ice hockey if I have some, either outside on some outdoor rinks, or then a couple times before season has ended, unfortunately too early, then I have been playing the rest of the season in some hobby ice hockey levels. So that's what I like to do on my spare time. And also on summers I play this called ball hockey, which is a quite a mixture from ice hockey and floorball. So you play with the ball, but on the ice hockey field without the ice, so just with the shoes on. So that's my summer sport. What I like to do, I think it's good, at least good physics side to the floorball, a little bit bigger field, so you have to do more running. Floorball in Canada, it's still quite small small thing. It's growing. Basically tournaments now, tournaments kind of events only. That's how they play their regular season. For me, don't have so much there, because I have always been playing here in Europe, so I only know what I've heard from my friends. But now, unfortunately, because of Corona, the season has been cancelled a couple of times. They haven't had opportunities to play, but hopefully next season they are again able to grow the sport there also and get the season and tournaments going. Yeah, I think the World Games is important for floorball, because it's a opportunity to grow the sports also in the smaller countries, get the show the, at least now it's in America, so show the Americans the skillful side of the how fast the sport is, everything that made me fall into the sport. And now it's a opportunity to show the other people and viewers how awesome the sport is. So I think that's a great opportunity to grow the sports for sure. I would say floorball at the World Games is going to be great, amazing, just because of those that I said. You can see the highest high level teams, Finland, Sweden, competing against each other. Then there's some smaller teams. You can see this what the gaps are really still. So I think that's the most amazing part, is just you have opportunity to see how the or how fast tempo the game has when the highest level teams are playing it. So you see that it's a really professional sport already, and the guys are really professionals doing it, and really in a good condition physical side. My experience from the US is I have been playing there a couple times in New York in some ice hockey tournaments when I was, I think, 12 and 13. So I have been there basically 4 weeks in my life. So that's the most I have been there. So I don't know that much about of the Manhattan and the big ice hockey rinks in New York. That's all I have seen basically from US. So I don't have so much from there yet. But hopefully in the future know a little bit more. And my advice to young players who want to play at the World Game one day, or in the World Championships in the highest leagues, I would say just train hard in everyday practice. If you're gonna be there anyway, a couple hours in practice, do everything so good you can do. Then on your own time, you have to just keep on playing, keep on developing, trying to do some stuff, because the time you are at the practice, that's quite small amount of your life. The most skillful time you can use is outside of your own team's practice, I would say. That's when you can really, if you have some gap to the top players, that's where you can reach them. If you're a top player, that's when you can make the gap even larger. So that's just train hard. I think there's no shortcuts in that way.